One day while fishing, some villagers saw a baby drowning in the river. They rescued the child, but soon saw another, then another. Everyone in the village rushed to the aid of all the babies floating down the river. But one man walked away, upstream, to find out why so many babies were falling into the river.
They're there pulling people out of the river, and that's work that has to be done. But Ryther also has an opportunity to help change the systems that are pushing those kids in the river in the first place. And so by going upstream, by going up the river, we can prevent young people and families from falling into dysfunctions that lead them to be in the river in the first place.
I think in more of what's called the downstream work, when folks have maybe been a part of systems that have not worked for them or systems that have failed them, I think a lot of the work is to be consistent and that feels safe. As a therapist who works both in an upstream and a downstream capacity, both are really important and it's really different work.
We are that lifeline to ones who feel that they're going under, that there's no hope, there's nobody caring for them, or nobody's out there even wondering or worried about what's going on. And it's a lot of kids is going through, and teenagers and young adults who are going through a lot of turmoil.
Ryther's outpatient approach is unique in that it is a multifaceted, multidisciplinary team. We bring together various different specialties: psychology, psychiatry, therapy, social work, case managers, drug and alcohol counselors, and we can approach each young person, each client, each family where they're at and meet the needs that they present to us.
I am a therapist that does PCIT, which stands for Parent-Child Interactive Therapy. And so essentially what happens is I am in a room with a one-way mirror, and there's a microphone that I'm talking to and a little headphone in the parent's ear. And so we work on some really specific skills. First, to really warm up a relationship between a parent and a kid, and we practice playing together and we practice praising the kid and really following their lead. And then we practice giving direct commands. It's really fun to watch how relationships transform.
If you can fix that bond early, and if you can help that child with learning to express themselves without having a temper tantrum, then you've just changed the trajectory of that child's life. So we start at that level all the way to Johnny Oda, who's working with children and young adults who are homeless and struggling with very serious mental health and substance use. Find that window of opportunity when they say, I think I'm finally ready to do something about this, and Johnny grabs them up and says, let's go.
The core of my work is downstream. People have been homeless for a while. They've had trauma, sexual abuse, violence, addiction, born addicted, born in utero exposed.
It's really hard for most people to imagine that homeless, mentally ill adult on the street corner was, more often than not, a homeless young person, an abused young person, a foster kid, a person who was abandoned by their family. For many of those folks, they have been through some services. They didn't meet them where they were at. And one of the things that's unique to Ryther is we take our services to homeless young people. So we take our therapists and we meet them at the shelters, we meet them at the drop-in centers, we meet them at the residential programs.
Mark's down this path. He grew up in a difficult environment, and he suffered from a lot of things, and he became homeless, mentally ill with a criminal record. I had a group at Orion Center, and he would go with me to the group and then to the meeting, and then one day he decided to get clean, and he stopped using, and then he went to our GED program, and then he went to this logic class. And in the logic class, the teacher said, do you like math? You might want to check out math. From that day forward, like, he just went after math. But he kept going to treatment and getting mental health treatment and going to counseling and going to meetings and getting housed and dealing with his legal issues and working on custody for his son and getting into college. And so it was like boom, 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 and then it was like this, and then it was just on the path.
I had no idea I was going to be a mathematician, and I'm a mathematician, so you know. Ryther was kind of a lifeboat for me because my life has been a rough and rapid kind of turbulence, and being able to reach out to Johnny really helped me find a way out of the river. Obviously for me it's like a downstream kind of story in some sense. I was already an adult, you know, I was trying to put my life turned around, but because of the experiences that I've had, I think his story is going to be different.
It is not just the people that work at Ryther that make the difference day after day. It's everybody that supports and has stood up for Ryther over the years and into the future that makes the difference. It's all of us.
This is the proof right here. Like, you saved him, and in some way you saved me. And so, for me, what is there not to believe that Ryther would save other people?